Hello, my dear friends. Today we will discuss an issue that I know is troubling many of us, especially when we've stepped into that threshold of 60, 70 years old, those persistent aching pains in the joints, in the knees, in the hips, and sometimes that uncomfortable tingling sensation in the hands, or when our legs suddenly become weak and heavy. I understand that feeling deeply, because I have seen those eyes thousands of times throughout my decades of practice in the United States. The eyes of someone asking themselves, why are the stairs in my house gradually becoming steeper and higher? Why is getting up from a chair every morning so difficult, as if my entire body is trapped in an invisible cage? And then, the most haunting question, the question you dare not say aloud, constantly swirling in your mind. Am I gradually losing my precious independence? Will I have to depend on others for the smallest daily tasks? During my years of practice, I have met thousands of people like you, people who have done everything they believed was right, according to books, according to expert advice. They exercise regularly, eat very carefully, following what they believe is healthy. But then I began to notice something strange, a pattern that keeps repeating that no one really wants to talk about, a small secret hiding somewhere, causing the pain to persist. Do you know that sometimes, the very things we trust most, the things we think are nourishing and protecting our bodies, are silently harming us? I'm talking about fruits, and also foods that we eat every day, with absolute faith that they will bring vitamins and health. But in reality, with the natural changes of aging, especially when our bodies no longer process everything like they did in our youth, some fruits or seemingly harmless foods can silently weaken our legs, make joints more painful and inflamed without us knowing. Really, every time I ask my 65, 70-year-old patients who complain about joint pain about their breakfast, I often hear familiar answers. Doctor, I eat very healthy. Every morning, I have a bowl of whole grain cereal with milk, add a few slices of toast, and a glass of fresh orange juice. And that's exactly the problem. They are pumping a significant amount of sugar into their bodies from early morning, without knowing that this sugar and refined carbohydrates not only cause weight gain but are also the main fuel for inflammation in the body. Every time blood sugar spikes suddenly, our body produces inflammatory cytokines, and these are substances that directly attack joint cartilage, making them wear out faster and cause more pain. This is like continuously pouring gasoline on a burning fire. The inflammatory fire will keep burning without being extinguished, even flaring up more violently. But dear friends, don't despair. The good news is, our bodies have amazing self-healing abilities, even at ages 70, 80, and when we stop pouring gasoline on the fire by avoiding sugar and bad carbs, while providing high-quality protein to build healthy muscles and protect joints, a miracle will happen. Today, I will share with you 8 foods that I often recommend to my patients. Those who have been and are struggling with persistent joint pain, these are foods that not only help control blood sugar and reduce inflammation, but are also rich in protein and essential nutrients like vitamin K2, D3, and calcium, the 3 golden keys for healthy bones and joints. Let's explore together, because choosing the right foods can be the turning point that changes your life. Let's delve deep into each type of food together. Listen to real-life stories and better understand how they can affect your bone and joint health. 1. Free-range eggs. Perfect protein plus natural vitamin K2. Imagine your body as a construction site working day and night to repair damaged joints and weaken muscles. To do this work, the diligent workers need to be supplied with the highest quality raw materials. And free-range eggs are exactly that premium material. They provide complete protein, containing all 9 essential amino acids that our body cannot produce on its own. One large egg contains about 6 to 7 grams of complete protein, especially rich in leucine, an amino acid that acts like a switch to turn on the muscle-building process. Why are muscles so important for your bone joints? Well, muscles are the natural armor, strong and sturdy, protecting the joints. When muscles are strong and firm, they will absorb most of the impact force on the body, reducing pressure on the fragile joint cartilage. Conversely, when muscles weaken, the entire load presses directly on the joints, causing rapid wear and pain. But free-range eggs have another special secret, which is vitamin K2. Do you know that this is a vitamin that up to 90% of Americans are deficient in? K2 has an extremely important mission. It is the guide for calcium, ensuring calcium goes to the right place and doesn't get lost and deposited in the wrong places. Free-range eggs contain 3 to 4 times higher K2 levels than factory-farmed eggs, which is a huge advantage. And that's not all. Egg yolks also contain natural vitamin D3, the golden key that helps our intestines absorb calcium most effectively. Without D3, no matter how much calcium you take, bones will still be weak and easily broken, because calcium cannot be properly delivered into bones. A 12-week study showed amazing results. Elderly people who ate 3 eggs every morning had a 15% increase in muscle mass and a 25% reduction in joint pain compared to the group eating bread and cereal. That's the power of high-quality protein when replacing carbohydrates. I understand that many of us are still worried about cholesterol in eggs. But dear friends, recent studies have shown that dietary cholesterol has little significant effect on blood cholesterol levels, especially when you actively avoid sugar and bad carbohydrates. In fact, many of my patients have improved cholesterol levels after eating eggs regularly and cutting carbs. Be confident in including free-range eggs in your breakfast. 2. Sardines, bone and joint minerals, plus anti-inflammatory, omega-3. If we compare bones and joints to a building, then calcium is the cement bonding, the bricks, protein is the strong steel columns, and omega-3 is the elite security team fighting against the inflammatory enemies trying to destroy that building. And the good news is sardines provide all three of these in one perfect, small but powerful package. The miracle of sardines is that you can eat the whole fish, including the bones. These soft bones contain calcium in its most natural form, very easily absorbed, along with phosphorus and magnesium, the teammates that help calcium absorb maximally and work effectively in the body. A small can of sardines can provide up to 380 milligrams of calcium, equivalent to a large glass of milk but without lactose and sugar, very suitable for those with lactose digestion issues. More importantly, sardines are one of the richest sources of omega. These fatty acids don't just simply fight inflammation, but actually turn off the biochemical pathways causing joint inflammation at the cellular level. EPA converts to resolvins, molecules responsible for cleaning up inflammation and helping joint tissue self-repair. A study at Harvard University followed 175 rheumatoid arthritis patients for 6 months. Results showed that the group eating sardines 3 times per week had CRP levels reduced by up to 35%, and the number of swollen and painful joints reduced by half compared to the group not eating fish. This proves the excellent anti-inflammatory power of sardines. Also provide natural vitamin D3, about 164 IU per 100 grams, while not as much as supplements. This is D3 accompanied by natural cofactors in food, helping the body absorb and use it better. I understand that many people may be hesitant about sardines' distinctive smell and taste, but I have a small tip. Choose sardines canned in extra virgin olive oil. Rinse lightly under running water to reduce saltiness. Then mix with halved cherried tomatoes, thinly sliced onions, and some fresh greens. Squeeze some lemon and drizzle a bit of olive oil. You'll have a delicious, nutritious, and extremely anti-inflammatory meal. Don't skip this. 3. Beef liver, vitamin D, 3+, K2+, choline 4, bones and joints. In modern medicine, sometimes we have forgotten a simple truth that our ancestors knew thousands of years ago. They always ate liver, the most nutritionally dense part of the animal. Beef liver is not a horrifying or strange dish, but truly a natural pharmacy for your bones, joints, and overall health. Beef liver is a treasure trove of nutrition. It contains large amounts of vitamin A, D3, K2, B12, choline, folate, iron, all in one natural package with perfect proportions, helping the body easily absorb and use them. Specifically, 100 grams of beef liver provides about 50 IU of vitamin D3. This number may not seem like much compared to supplements, but the important thing is it comes with vitamin K2, helping D3 work much more effectively. Vitamin K2 in liver is in the MK4 form, which is exactly what bones need to activate osteocalcin, a protein that works like glue, to bring calcium into the bone matrix and bind it tightly. Without K2, calcium will wander in the blood, possibly depositing in arteries causing atherosclerosis, or even depositing in the wrong places in joint cartilage, making joints stiff and painful, instead of going into bones to make them strong. Choline in liver is also extremely important for joint health and neurological function. Choline is a precursor to acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that controls muscles. When muscles around joints work well together and are healthy, they will stabilize and protect joints more effectively, reducing pressure on cartilage surfaces. Beef liver is also a source of high-quality protein with all essential amino acids. Unlike many plant proteins, animal protein from liver has a perfect amino acid score, meaning the body can use 100% to build and repair muscles. I often advise my patients to eat beef liver 1 to 2 times per week, about 100 grams each time. If you're not used to liver's taste, you can try mixing minced liver with ground beef to make hamburger patties, or fine dried liver capsules. But, remember, fresh food is always the best choice. Try adding beef liver to your diet to feel the difference. 4. Avocados unchi, inflammatory fats, plus vitamin K1. In the crazy low-fat world of the 80s, we learned an expensive lesson. Not all fats are bad. In fact, on the contrary, good fats not only don't cause inflammation, but also have powerful anti-inflammatory abilities. And avocados are the queen of anti-inflammatory fats. A wonderful gift from nature for your health, especially bone and joint health. A medium avocado contains about 20 grams of fat, mainly oleic acid. This is the same monounsaturated fat found abundantly in olive oil. Oleic acid can replace inflammatory fatty acids in cell membranes, helping joint cartilage cells function more smoothly, reducing stiffness and pain. Avocados also contain vitamin K1. This is the plant form of vitamin K. While K1 isn't as strong as K2 in directing calcium into bones, it plays an important role in blood clotting and helps reduce inflammation in soft tissues around joints. What's special about avocados is their intelligence in increasing carotenoid absorption from other vegetables. When you eat green salads with avocado, the amount of zeaxanthin and beta-carotene absorbed into the body increases 3 to 5 times. This is why a green salad with avocado is not only delicious but also extremely smart nutritionally, providing comprehensive health benefits, including for joints. Moreover, the fiber in avocados is mainly insoluble, helping stabilize blood sugar by slowing the absorption of sugar into the blood. It also nourishes beneficial bacteria in the gut, helping them produce short-chain fatty acids. SCFAs like butyrate have systemic anti-inflammatory effects, reducing the production of cytokines that cause joint inflammation. Avocados are also a rich source of potassium, helping balance sodium and control blood pressure. High blood pressure increases vascular inflammation, indirectly affecting joint inflammation. Add avocados to breakfast with eggs, or make salads and avocado smoothies. 5. Wild-caught salmon. Wild-caught salmon is the true superfood. For people with bone and joint pain, this is the perfect combination of high-quality protein, powerful anti-inflammatory omega, and vitamin D3. 3 things that most elderly people are severely deficient in. A 150 grams piece of salmon can provide about 35 grams of complete protein, enough to maximally activate the muscle protein synthesis process in elderly people. This protein not only helps build and maintain muscle mass, but also provides glycine and proline, 2 essential amino acids for producing collagen, the strong framework of joint cartilage. Regarding omega-3, wild salmon contains 1.522 grams EPA-DHA per 150 grams. A true therapeutic dose for inflammation. EPA works like natural aspirin, inhibiting COX-2 enzyme and reducing production of prostaglandins that cause joint inflammation. DHA penetrates deep into cell membranes, increasing flexibility and reducing joint stiffness. Salmon is also one of the few food sources rich in natural vitamin D3. D3 not only helps absorb calcium optimally, but also regulates the immune system, preventing unwanted autoimmune reactions that cause joint inflammation. A study in Japan followed 1,500 elderly people for 5 years and showed those who ate salmon at least 2 times per week had a 52% reduced risk of rheumatoid arthritis compared to those who rarely ate fish. Important note, choose wild-caught salmon instead of farmed. Farmed salmon often has a higher omega-6 omega-2-3 ratio, less vitamin D3, and may contain antibiotic residues due to farming conditions. Enjoy grilled, pan-seared, or steamed salmon with green vegetables for the perfect joint meal. 6. Extra virgin olive oil, oleocanthal. If someone told you there's a cooking oil that works like aspirin but doesn't cause stomach damage or unpleasant side effects, would you believe it? Yes, that's extra virgin olive oil, containing a miraculous compound called oleocanthal was discovered in 2005 by scientist Gary Beauchamp, when he accidentally noticed that distinctive spicy taste of high-quality olive oil was exactly like the sensation of taking ibuprofen. Later studies proved that oleocanthal can inhibit the same COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes that ibuprofen targets, but in a gentler and more long-lasting way. About 50 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil contains an amount of oleocanthal with anti-inflammatory effects equivalent to about 10% of an ibuprofen dose. Of course, it cannot completely replace pain medication in cases of acute pain, but using extra virgin olive oil regularly can significantly reduce the need for NSAIDs without harming the stomach. Oleic acid, making up 70 to 80% of olive oil, also stabilizes cell membranes and reduces production of inflammatory cytokines like TNF-alpha and interleukin-6. These are the culprits causing chronic joint inflammation, making joints continuously ache. Olive oil also helps increase vitamin K absorption from green vegetables. When you dress green salads with extra virgin olive oil, the amount of vitamin K1 absorbed from vegetables doubles compared to eating dry vegetables. How to choose quality olive oil. Look for bottles clearly labeled extra virgin. First, cold press. And with a harvest date within 18 months, good olive oil will have a slightly spicy, slightly bitter taste at the back of the throat when you taste it. That's the sign of precious oleo. Use extra virgin olive oil to dress salads, drizzle over steamed vegetables, or for quick and moderate temperatures. 7. Non-starchy vegetables. Fiber plus antioxidants without sugar. This is perhaps one of the most important nutritional strategies for elderly people with bone and joint pain. How to get abundant vitamins, minerals, and fiber without spiking blood sugar? The answer is non-starchy vegetables. Vegetables with less than 5 grams of net carbs per 100 grams. These vegetables include leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, stem vegetables, and fruit vegetables. These vegetables provide large amounts of vitamin K1, folate, magnesium, and potassium without raising blood sugar. Especially, Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower contain sulforaphane, a powerful compound that activates the body's natural antioxidant system, helping extinguish free radicals that cause joint inflammation. Vitamin K1 from green vegetables works together with K2 from animal foods to ensure calcium goes to the right place in bones, making bones strong. Without K1, the necessary process for bones to absorb calcium will be incomplete, leading to weak bones despite sufficient calcium. Fiber from vegetables not only helps stabilize blood sugar, but also nourishes beneficial bacteria in the gut, helping them produce short-chain fatty acids. SCFAs like butyrate have systemic anti-inflammatory effects, reducing production of joint inflammatory cytokines from within. Best preparation methods: steam, quick with extra virgin olive oil, or eat raw in salads. Avoid boiling too long as it will lose large amounts of precious vitamin K and folate. Make non-starchy vegetables the star in every meal. 8. High-quality protein, eggs and whey. The final but equally important part is how to ensure enough high-quality protein without excess carbs. This is especially important as we age. Our bodies become increasingly difficult to build and maintain muscle. Elderly people need at least 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, and must distribute it evenly across meals. Each meal needs at least 25 to 30 grams of protein to maximally activate the muscle protein synthesis process. Free-range eggs are the gold standard, with a protein score of 100% containing all amino acids, especially leucine. About 4 to 5 eggs can provide 25 to 30 grams of complete protein, very suitable for a nutritious breakfast or snack. Whey protein isolate is an excellent backup option for times when you can't eat enough fresh food. Whey isolate has very low carbs, absorbs quickly, and is rich in leucine, especially useful after exercise when the body needs emergency protein to recover muscles. Why is protein so important for joints? The answer is very simple. Strong muscles will be the armor layer, helping joints be better protected. When muscles are weak, all impact force from daily activities will press directly on joints, causing rapid wear. Protein also provides glycine and proline, two essential amino acids for producing collagen, which is the cement of joint cartilage. A study at Tufts University showed elderly people who increased protein to 1.5 grams per kilogram body weight for 12 weeks had muscle mass increase up to 8% and joint pain levels decrease by 30%. This proves protein not only helps muscles, but also directly improves your joint pain condition. Conclusion: comprehensive nutritional strategy for bones and joints. My dear friends, after going through these 8 foods, I want to emphasize something important. This is not a temporary diet or a miracle that works in just a few days. This is a long-term nutritional lifestyle to control inflammation, protect joints, and maintain your quality of life for many years to come. The core principle is really simple and easy to remember. Imagine your body as a manufacturing plant. Every day, this plant needs quality materials to repair, maintain, and build new parts. When you put in sugar and refined carbs, you're throwing sand into the machinery, making them jam and cause damage. But when you provide high-quality protein, healthy fats, and proper you're lubricating and providing quality parts for the plant, helping it operate smoothly and efficiently. I understand that changing eating habits is not easy, especially when we've been accustomed to certain foods for decades. But let's start slowly, one small step at a time. You will find that after 4 to 6 weeks, many of my patients have reported truly amazing results. Significantly reduced joint pain, easier movement, better sleep, and stable energy throughout the day. Remember, food is medicine, but it must be used correctly and persistently. What you eat today will determine how you feel next week, next month, and next year. Your bones and joints have been with you through many decades, supporting you on all life's paths. Now, it's time to care for them with the best. Foods that are not only delicious, but also gentle medicine, natural medicine that you give yourself every day. Start this journey with faith. Your body has amazing self-healing abilities. You just need to provide the right fuel for it. To make you more confident in the power of food, I want to share a few true stories from my clinic. These are not miracles or inflated advertisements. These are real results. When people change their eating habits scientifically and persistently. Margaret's story. 73 years old, Chicago. Margaret came to see me on a cold winter day in 2022. She limped into the clinic. Each step, like torture. Each time lifting her leg requiring a deep breath. "Doctor," she said with a tired and almost desperate voice, "for 5 years I've lived like a prisoner in my own home. Every morning I wake up as if I've been beaten. My knee joints stiff as stone. My hands can't even hold a morning coffee cup anymore." Margaret told me she had tried everything to reduce pain, from regular painkillers to strong medication, from cortisone injections into joints to acupuncture. "Every month I spend nearly $400 on medication and still have constant pain. My children and grandchildren worry I'll become a burden to them." When I asked about her diet, Margaret proudly said, "I eat very healthy, doctor. Every morning I eat oatmeal with banana and honey. Lunch is a sandwich with whole grain bread. Afternoon, I eat salad with fat-free dressing. I avoid all red meat and eggs because I'm afraid of cholesterol. I gently explained to Margaret that the foods she thought were healthy were actually the cause of sustaining and even promoting inflammation in her body. Oatmeal with honey every morning was like throwing fire on dry straw, causing blood sugar to spike and stimulate inflammation. Sandwich bread also raised blood sugar high, and salad without enough protein and healthy fats couldn't repair and protect joints. "What does the doctor want me to eat?" Margaret asked, with some skepticism and fatigue in her voice. I gave her a simple list, very different from her habits. Morning, 3 scrambled eggs with spinach, cooked in extra virgin olive oil. Lunch, a large salad with sardines, sliced avocado, and extra virgin olive oil dressing. Evening, grilled salmon with steamed broccoli. Supplement, 1 small piece of beef, liver weekly. No bread, no oatmeal, no sweet fruits. Margaret's eyes widened in surprise. "For the first 30 days, we'll reset your inflammatory system. Then we can gradually add some other foods. But no, trust me, you'll see the difference." Margaret hesitated for a week, then decided to try. The first week, she called to complain. "Doctor, I'm so tired, and I crave sweetbread so much. Just thinking about it makes my mouth water." I explained these were normal sugar withdrawal symptoms and advised her to persist. Week 2, I received no calls from Margaret. Week 3, she called back with a surprised voice, almost unbelievable. "Today I woke up without the joint stiffness like every other day. Could it be a coincidence? I feel much lighter." Week 4, a miracle happened. Margaret walked to the clinic herself. Instead of driving, she entered with a bright smile. "Doctor, I haven't walked 6 blocks continuously like this without any pain for 20 years. After 3 months of persistence, Margaret had reduced 2/3 of the painkillers she had used for so many years, and after 6 months, she completely stopped medication. "Now, I wake up early to cook eggs for my husband, shop for fresh fish in the afternoon, play with grandchildren in the garden, on weekends without feeling tired. Who would believe just changing how I eat could be so miraculous?" Now, 2 years later, Margaret is 75, but healthier than at 65. She became my ambassador, enthusiastically convincing neighbors to change their diets. She is living proof that our bodies have the ability to self-heal when nourished properly. My dear friends, I share these stories not to boast or exaggerate anything, but to show you something important. Change is possible, and results are real. Margaret and Robert are both ordinary people like you, with similar difficulties to yours. They had nothing special, except one thing. They decided to try. They had enough courage to step out of the comfort zone of old habits, to trust in the body's ability to self-heal and provide it with the best. If you're reading these lines and feeling skeptical, that's completely normal. I understand. After so many years of disappointment with medication, with various treatment methods without seeing clear results, everyone gets tired and doubtful. You have the right to doubt. But ask yourself one honest question, a question from the depths of your heart. Where is my current situation heading? If I continue like this, what will happen in 5 years? What about in 10 years? Do I really want to live a life limited by pain and dependence? Think carefully about that. And if the answer is no, if you yearn for a better, freer life, then start this journey today. I believe you have that strength, the strength to choose, to change, and to heal. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with your body, and believe that good days are still waiting ahead. Days with steady legs, confident steps, and a peaceful soul knowing you're taking care of yourself properly, worthy of every remaining moment of happiness. You deserve days like that, and I believe you will have them.